We're live. Hi everyone. So today we are going to paint together. I should get the drawing so that you can see it. I'll be right back. I'm already bowing out. So this is what we're painting today. And I'm really hoping to get it done start to finish today while we're on here. We'll see how long it takes. If it takes too long, I will go live tomorrow at 2 o'clock to finish it. But anywho, I hope you're able to paint with me. If not, just chill and chit chat with me. I'm also recording this for YouTube. So I have a camera right above my laptop. So if I'm looking up there once in a while, that's why. I need to move this light because it's giving me like rings around my eyes. The reflection of my glasses. That's a little bit maybe better. Gosh, I'm sorry guys. Okay, maybe that's better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Anyways, hello, welcome, and I hope you're ready to paint with me, or you could just watch. Hi, Nicole. Thanks for saying hi. Let me know who's on here by just giving a shout out, saying hi. So why I'm doing these free painting lessons is because it's kind of to show you a little bit about what my CW Live membership, private membership group is going to be like. However, in the membership, I won't be painting like this. I will actually have the painting, if it's a small enough painting like this size and smaller, I can have it laying flat and then have the camera over top. And that's how I did it for Creative Whims Studio Uncut, and it worked out a lot better because I could zoom in and you could see it better and I wasn't blocking any of the painting. But I don't have the, what do you call it, the tripod to hold my phone in yet. I ordered it. So anyway, I'm just paint like this for now. Hi Doreen. I saw that you were starting Neighborhood. I don't even know if I left a comment on there or not, but yeah, that's a big one to punch, but you know, I don't know, punch needle to me is so therapeutic. While you're working on it, it's just so relaxing that I like to have a big piece to work on, and just as you see it coming together, it's like, so fun. So anyways, I was just explaining what I'm painting and why I'm painting, you know, giving a couple free lessons here on Facebook. The CW Live membership is starting April 7th, but I'm leaving it open like for people to join until April 13th, just for the fact that I was late kind of getting everything together for it. So I am using the color palette that we will be using in CW Live. I have found that I can make pretty much any color I want with this color palette. Not to say that I might request you to buy a tube of paint here and there, but it won't, like this will get you mostly what you need. And then I'm also using the 3 brush sizes. Oh shoot, I gotta go grab my number 4. But I'm using the brushes that I recommend for CW Live too. Yeah, it's like a sampler only in punch needle. Okay, so let me go grab my other brush. Okay, so these are my favorite brand of brushes, and I have a video on YouTube that explains why I love these brushes so much. So I'm not going to go into detail on that. You can go to my YouTube channel and check it out. But you know, these are just 3 basic sizes, a small round, a number 1 round, a number 4 filbert, and a number 10 filbert. And for what I paint, this is fine. when I do a huge canvas or something, you know, I need bigger brushes. But for the lessons and the things that I'm going to do in CW Live, this is all you'll need. Hi, Robin. Welcome. Okay, so I painted this a long time ago, and I don't really like it. So I'm painting my the angel over top of that. Oh, it's right here. So I have it drawn on there. You can't really see because there's, you know, so much color and stuff going on. But I didn't have a 16 by 20 cradled board or canvas to use for this lesson or for this. My hair's seriously driving me crazy. I've seen pictures of people on Facebook that are trimming their bangs, you know, because we're on lockdown. And they're cutting their own hair because we can't go get a haircut. Anyways, where was I going with that? So I decided I would just paint over top of this. I might leave some of these colors showing. I might not. I was just going to paint over it black and then put my drawing on it, but I thought, hey, you never know. So, you know, that's what I like to do. If I have a painting that I just don't like, I just paint over it. Oh, my husband's on here. Really? Hey, Kev. Hi, Debbie. Gonna watch for a little while and eat lunch. Cool, we're having lunch together. I love it. Okay, so I am going to get started. I have, this is that Stay Wet palette that it has a lid on it. So especially for CW Live, we're going to be using the same paints all the time. And so you can put a lid on this. It has a little sponge in the bottom. So it keeps your paints nice and moist for it. I've used the same paints for 3 weeks at least, probably more than that. And if you don't have a palette like that, handy old paper plates will work just fine. The only thing with that is you kind of waste paint that way because you have to throw it away when you're done. I have put those like in a Ziploc bag and put them in the fridge. You know, if you happen to have a lot of paint on there and you don't want to waste it, that works all right too. All right, so we're gonna get started because we don't have all day, right? So to mix the flesh tones, I use a combination of Pyro Red, Hansa Yellow. Like, you need a lot of yellow compared to the red. And then, see, it's hard for me. Now my paints are running together. And then just use some Titan Buff to lighten it up. And you just keep blending that until you get a nice flesh tone. And you'll be mixing, like when we paint angels and things like that in CW Live, it'll be second nature to you to mix flesh tones because I constantly have to mix them throughout while I'm working, so I don't feel like I have enough light in here. I always start with the face when I do a painting. That's just how I work. So, excuse me. What's probably going to happen here is because I'm trying to focus on this painting, what I'll do is I'll paint for a while and then I'll read questions and comments, okay? So I'll be going back and forth. Hold on 1 second. I gotta... So I'm going to go ahead and paint all the lines black. I usually do that first anyways, but it'll just help you to kind of see where the drawing's at. And if you water your black down, it will go a long ways. and it will be more like ink. And don't worry about like being super precise, because as you paint, it's going to change a bit anyways. I need to get my phone so I can read comments a little bit easier. Hold on, I'm going to grab my phone. Trying to see if there's any more comments. I need to get a little clamp that would clamp onto my easel and hold my phone. What's everyone up to today? Say hi if you're on here. It says we have 17 people. Hi, Susan. It looks like I have a bad connection. I can see it's jumping around. Can you guys hear me okay? Hi from California. How you doing out there in California? It keeps cutting out. Well, it might not be your internet, Daisy. It's more than likely mine. I do have a finish on there. On this painting, I have matte medium or matte varnish. And the reason I did that is, well, I normally do it when I finish a painting anyways, but I didn't have it on this one. But if I do any sanding on this, I wanted that underpainting to stay. So that's why this morning I put a matte coat on it. I just get fuzzy sometimes. Hey, that happens in real life too. So I'm just watering down my black paint, my black acrylic paint, and I'm just going around the lines so y'all can see what I'm painting. It helps me too, actually. So, and this is kind of like fussy work right here because I've already drawn it on once. Now I have to do it again. Good deal, Kev. Hi, Susan. Yeah, it will be interesting. I love painting over top of either other paintings or like scrapbook paper and stuff, and then letting some of those colors show through. And this picture or this painting the painting that I'm painting over is not real textured, but it's even more fun if there's a lot of texture on the underpainting. But that's something I want to explore in the CWI membership group, is creating lots of texture and then creating paintings over top of it. I don't have paint. I don't even have my apron on. I usually have an apron on. I know. I know, I'm the same way. Matter of fact, I'm glad you said something because I'm going to go run and put my apron on. Yes, you can do it any size that you want or any size that you have on hand. I find if I'm painting a face, it's nice to paint it a little bit bigger because it just makes it easier. But yeah, I think I put on one of the posts that, you know, what you had to enlarge it to make it like an 11 by 14. So yeah, 8 by 10 will work just fine. So Kevin enjoyed going live. What was that, last Tuesday, I think, a week ago? And I told him, I said, well, we should go live once a month. And I'm thinking like around, you know, the 24th is when we went live. So, you know, April 24th, somewhere around there, we would go live again. He's like, we got to wait a whole month. So somebody likes going live other than me. So we taught, I mean, it was a Q&A, and I'm thinking we might have to just have subjects to talk about. I can't imagine we're going to have a Q&A each time we go live, because questions kind of arise anyway as we're talking and while we're live. Eventually y'all would probably run out of questions, so I don't know. We'll have to think of some topics to talk about. Daisy, you know, I mean, lumber yards are probably closed now, but when things kind of get back to normal, I get A1 birch plywood cut to size for my prints on wood, and I've actually just created paintings right on those as well. So, and it's very economical, and I mean, you put gesso over it, so the surface is perfectly fine to paint on. So like if you plan on doing a lot of paintings and you just want to save some money, that's a really good way to go. So it comes, I'm trying to think how big the sheet is. I could email it to you, but I have like, you can ask them to cut it any size, and it's pretty handy. Just a nice alternative to the cradle boards and the canvases if you're painting a lot. There you go, see? I love it. Yeah, you just use some black or white gesso. I prefer the black gesso just to prepare the wood when you're, you know, done cutting, and voila. Oh, it's too fuzzy and you can't watch? Oh no. Is it that way for everyone? Well, I will be putting this up. I'm recording it with my camera, and I will be putting it on YouTube as well. Probably, you know, sped up. It's not going to be the full thing, but 4 foot by 8 foot. Yeah. Is it? So Kevin, is it fuzzy for you? Okay, so Susan, it's clear for you. Yeah, I think it's just my internet connection. I bought some extenders that supposedly are the bomb.com. We'll find out. They're on their way here. I'm going to try them. I don't know. I may have to move my live painting operation up to the house. Oh, I would not be happy about that, though. All right. Thank you, Doreen. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah. If mine's a little bit fuzzy and then whoever was watching, if theirs is a little bit fuzzy, then I suppose it probably could be a bit much. What I might do is I'll go live for a little bit and then I will stop it and do like a part 2. And I'll see if I can excuse me, see if I can reset the internet and get a better connection on the second round. Hi Bernice, hi Pam. It's usually not fuzzy. You know, I've also heard from other people that so many people are using the internet and going live and doing all these things now that we're all at home in the, I don't know, what is it called? I don't know these terms, but I want to say the bandwidth. But anyways, people are having a hard time like going live and doing different things because so many people are using the internet now. I don't know. That's what I heard from someone else that was trying to go live, and so I don't know if that's true or how all that works, but hey Kristen. Hi Tammy. Yeah, the volume of, yeah, right? Yeah. How are you? What you up to today? Kristen, are you having some sunny weather yet? It's cold here today. I had heard on the news that it was supposed to be in the 50s today, and I was so excited, but you know, like the weather often does, it changed and it's only like supposed to get in the 40s today. All right, let's just finish this. Almost done, y'all. We can get to the fun part. Oh, now, okay, sealing a bunch of stuff. What does that mean? On furniture? And bidding on stuff for Ralph on like tools? What are you bidding on? Again, don't get too fussy on this part. Just get the shapes in, because you can always change it as you're painting. Okay, I gotta move this. Top coat on furniture and paintings, always put that off because, yeah, it's not fun, right? Kind of like getting my paperwork done for my taxes. So Kev, are you watching regular TV or are you watching something on like Netflix or something? Because that could be messing with the... That just dawned on me. Yay! We've got the drawing on there in black now. Had to leave to stir the spaghetti sauce. What beach photo shoot goes wrong? Daisy, I was wondering what that meant. Oh, that's funny. I'm like, beach photo shoot goes wrong? Oh my gosh, how funny. Okay, let's get back to it. So I am going to work on her face a little bit more. That's probably dry now. So again, when you're doing skin tones, usually I start out with like a darker color and then I just keep adding layers and layers of lighter color in the highlighted areas just to kind of bring it to life. So I'm going to put another layer on her face and it will be kind of dark. It's not going to end up being that dark in the end, but it creates a nice warm undertone for her skin. And I've got, since I have that painting underneath, I just need to put another coat on there. Man, this thing is moving a lot. Aw, sorry, Lori. Have a good day. Okay. Bye, Daisy. Huh, I might stop this and start it over. I mean, I'm watching it on my phone and I can see it is kind of going fuzzy a little bit. Your reception isn't good either, Georgia. Okay. That's enough. I'm done. I'm going to start this over because I want y'all to be able to enjoy it. So I will end this live and reset the internet and go back on and see what we can do. All right, thanks guys. We'll give it another shot. Ticks me off. All right, we're trying this again. We reset the internet and I'm sitting way off to the side, so it's going to be really awkward. You're not going to be able to see my palette because I can't fit the palette and the painting in there, but I'll just tell you what I'm doing. And like I said, for the CW Live membership, I will have an overhead camera that will show my palette and the painting as I'm working. So I'm just waiting on the tripod to come in. So, all right. It doesn't look like it's real fuzzy, so I think we might be okay. Hi, Carol. I just got to log in on my phone so I can see the comments, and then we'll get painting. Okay. Oh my gosh, all these notifications. All right, so I think I was painting the face. I was putting the second coat on the face. This is very awkward to paint. I don't know how this is going to work. Hubby said that we needed a close-up view. So that's why I've moved it. But I'm sitting way over to the side, so I don't know if this is how it's going to work. We'll just keep going. You can't hear anything. Can anybody hear me? Hi, Glenda. So basically I'm taking that mixture of Pyro Red, Hansa Yellow Light, and the Titan Buff, and I just keep adding Titan Buff so that it gets lighter, and I keep going over the face where I feel that there's going to be highlights. It's going fuzzy again. Well, this just may not work today. You know, like I said in the last video, there's tons of people going live these days with everyone being sheltering in place. And the live streams are just crazy. So I am recording this with my camera. So if we have to stop this because it's not working good enough for you guys to see, or if it's just, you know, too fuzzy and too annoying to watch, then I will stop it, and I'll upload the recording on my camera to my YouTube channel, and I'll put a link somewhere in the comments so y'all can see. Hi, Glenda. Thanks everyone for joining me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see what I'm doing. Do we need more light? I can turn my light up over here. That might help a little bit. Is that better? I'm looking at it on my laptop and it looks like you can see it pretty good. So what I did there, I just used the flesh color, and then I added a little bit more Pyro Red in there to make a pink. And then I painted her, you know, lips, and I'm just adding it kind of around the painting on her face just to give her more color. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Carol. Okay, good. Technical difficulties seems to be the MO for me trying to go live on. Well, when Kristen and I do What You Paint Wednesday, we've been going live on her page because the Zoom just does not work for me. But normally when I go live on Facebook and it's just myself, I normally don't have too much trouble. So if you think about, you know, where shadows and highlights would be on a face, you know, this is not going to be a realistic looking angel. She's just kind of cute and similar to like my Whimsy chicks that I paint. So I'm just adding flesh tones around and trying to make some shadows and some highlights. The paint brushes I like to use for my acrylic painting is their Winsor Newton Professional Acrylic Color. And I use, the most that I use are the Filbert 4, the Filbert 10, and a round number 1 for like small fussy work. That's for like 16 by 20 and under. Obviously for larger paintings you're going to need, you know, larger brushes, but this brand of brushes, I love these brushes. It's the only kind I buy anymore. And also, hi Daisy, thanks for coming back. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, if you take care of your brushes, which I didn't for many years, not that I didn't try to take care of them, I just didn't know the proper way to take care of them. But if you want to see a video of what I use and how I care for my brushes, I do have those videos. I can put a link in the comments later too, to my YouTube channel where I talk about the brushes, and then I also have a video about how to clean them and take care of them. It's still fuzzy for you? Well, I'm just going to continue to work, and if it gets too fuzzy, I think it's kind of coming and going actually. I'm looking at it on my laptop, which is what I'm recording on as well, or what I'm going live on as well, and it looks really good. So a combination of things probably. Just getting that first layer of her hair, and what I'm doing there, I forgot to tell you, that's the hard part, is visiting and talking about what I'm doing. This is, what I used there was burnt sienna and burnt umber to get these dark browns, and I just use a combination of those. And so that's just the first layer, and I'll go in and put highlights, and she may end up being blonde. I mean, you just never know. Yes, you can watch it later, Daisy. I am recording it with my camera, and I will be posting that to YouTube later. So if it's too fuzzy, my camera's doing a really good job. So it's a bummer. I was hoping you could be on here live with me. Hi, Kathy. How are you? All right, so now I'm getting my Filbert number 10 because I want to paint her wings, get that first coat of her wings on, and I'm using Titan Buff and just a little bit of raw sienna. Raw sienna is kind of a mustardy color. And just for these big areas, I want to use a big brush. What's everyone up to today? Teeny, I wasn't asking you. Did you hear my dog bark? Yes, this is Titan Buff and a little bit of raw sienna that I just put a little bit of raw sienna in, which is kind of a yellowy gold color. So this will just be layer 1 on her wings. I don't know why this thing's so bouncy today. So I'm just going back and mixing a little bit more of the Titan Buff with the raw sienna to paint her other wing. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Robin. Thanks everyone for joining me. It seems like we have a better connection this time. We've reset our internet. This wing is a lot more light. I'm going to add a little bit more raw sienna in there. Oh, God, we just kind of fuzzed out and then we came back. I need to tell my neighbors, hey, I'm going live at this certain time. Y'all need to stay off the internet. Think they'd go for that? Why not? Isn't that just the craziest thing? Everyone's like, all these students that are doing their schoolwork at home. Do they have live classes like with Zoom or something? Hey, Robin. Hi, Christy. Right? I know. Teeny's like, I want in on that. Okay, so for her crown, I'm going to paint the crown next. I'm going to do an undercoat of, let's see. I'm going to do an undercoat of red. It's not going to stay red, but I love to paint red, and then when I paint over it, let some of that red show through. I love that. So I'm just going to, this is just pyro red, just straight up pyro red, not mixed with anything. And it's going to be really a bright red, but it won't stay that way. That's the thing too, like as you're painting, just remember, you know, layers, you want to create layers, because then like I'm going to go over this and sand it. And what will happen is some of the layers that you painted underneath will show through. So just in spots, you'll have like some pops of color, and it just makes it more interesting. Kevin said, calling HughesNet today. Yeah, we need to find an alternative, don't we? Then I'm just using the Pyro Red again, and I'm just going to go around this little circle. And if you are painting over top of another painting, you know, just kind of remember, like here, I don't know if you can see it really good, but I let some of that underneath color show through, and you can do some dry brushing. Like these little green things, I was thinking they kind of look like funky trees, so I might keep those. I might even keep that flower. I think that's kind of fun. So, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so now I'm going to do this house with teal. This is, I'm using Golden Paints. Golden Paints is my favorite brand of paint. This house will not stay teal, and I'm going to let some of that underpainting show through. So we just want to put colors down so that we can have some of those colors pop through as we're going along. And don't worry about your lines being like perfectly straight. When we go back through and do the background, we can always fix any of those lines that we don't like. I'm going to go ahead and do these just real quickly, real dry brush. And so I don't know if you know what dry brush is. It's when you don't have tons of paint on your brush and you just kind of are scratching over the surface so it doesn't, it's not a solid, the brush strokes aren't solid and doesn't like cover it completely. That color is teal. It's the teal, the golden paints. I use the heavy body or the fluid acrylics, and that is, and they don't have the teal in the fluid acrylics, not at Dick Blick anyways. So I have that in the heavy body acrylics. Hi Vicky. Hi Joe. Hey Joe, I saw that punch needle of the painting I did last week. That turned out cool. I love the colors you picked. Okay, so they use Zoom. For the kids are using Zoom to stay connected with their classwork. Oh my gosh, it's just crazy. Crazy, crazy. So now I'm using chromium oxide. So let me back up. When I posted the PDF of this drawing, there was a list. I think it was Daisy that asked if there was a list of paint colors. Anyways, I put the list of paint colors on there that I'm using today. So when you go back and watch this again, because I can't show the palette and the painting, so I'm just calling out the colors. But if you have the same palette, it should be easy enough. So this is chromium oxide green, and I'm just going to paint this house real quick green, just to get us some underpainting on there. And it's just straight up chromium oxide green. Ooh, I like how that flower has got some texture in it right there at the end of that house. That looks cool. So now I'm going to take the chromium oxide green and I'm going to mix it with a little Hansa yellow. I'm going to try to mimic this green color here. And we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to take a lot of Hansa yellow to get to that color. Also, I can tell it's going to need maybe some raw sienna. So I'm adding raw sienna in to kind of brown it up a little bit. Okay, now to make it lighter, I'm going to use Titan Buff. Add a little bit of that in there. Let's see. Oh, we're close. We're close. Not quite there yet. So continue adding raw sienna. There we go. I think we got it now. So that, yep, that's basically that dark part of that flower. So I want these trees to kind of match what's already there. And this is going to be a very funky, whimsical folk art painting type thing. So don't freak out, because I know trunks of trees are not green. So again, to mix that green, I used chromium oxide green. I mixed that with Hansa yellow, and then I mixed in raw sienna, and then to lighten it, I used Titan Buff. And you just keep mixing it until you get kind of a Grinch color green, I guess you could call it. Now I'm going to add titanium white to it to try to get this color green. Let's see how I did. Not bad. And this painting, this underpainting was done so long ago that I don't know if I was just using the Creative Studio Uncut palette, which is the one I'm using now, or I don't know what I was using, because like I said, well, this was not painted during a class anyways, so I might have used a whole different color paint. But we matched it pretty close, so I'm happy with that. All right. I'm going to go in and do a coat on her wings just to lighten those up, because I want to do the background. But the background is going to be kind of an off-white, so at least that's how it's going to start. So I'm going to go in with just straight up Titan Buff, and I'm just going to do some dry brushing. And just, I'm not painting it necessarily solid, I'm just kind of making like brush strokes so it looks like, mimics what feathers might look like. Debbie, your furry children, your furry child wants to play outside. Yeah, I'm sure my dog would love that too. I should run her today. Sure would make it easier to play with her outside if the weather was nicer. So again, I'm using titanium white. It's hard to do it on this side because I'm so far away from it. Yeah, I just totally missed. Oh, hi, Kristen. I didn't see you joined. This size brush, this is a Filbert number 10. For the wing, I don't know when you asked that, but for the wing, that's what I'm using. So I'm only using three different sizes of brushes. I'm using, for the small little stuff in there, I'm using a round number 1. For like the medium sized brush I have right here is a Filbert number 4. And then the bigger brush is a Filbert number 10. What's everyone's weather like? Well, Debbie, I'll be here. So when you're done with your fur baby, if you want to jump back on here, I'll be here for a while. All right, guys. Sorry about that. .43 and cloudy. Sounds like where I'm at. Where are you at, Christy? All right, so I'm going to continue using my number 10 Filbert, and I'm going to use, let's see, what do we want to do? I'm going to use quite a bit of titanium white. I'm going to mix it with some burnt sienna, which is kind of a rust color, and some raw sienna, which is more of a gold kind of yellow color. Ooh, I like that color. Again, I want some of these colors in the background to show through. So I'm just kind of dry brushing around. I love this kind of gray color I got back there. So we can add some black to that, or some raw sienna. I'm sorry, not raw sienna, raw umber, and we can get a little bit more of a grayish color. Are you still working, Vic? Okay. I'm not sitting right in front of my painting, so it's really hard to see. No sightings of the sun. Yeah, it's pretty gray here today too. So I'm going to take, so what we just mixed there was burnt sienna and titanium white. So I'm going to mix that now and just add in a little bit. Oh, and there was raw sienna in there too. Now I'm going to mix just a tinge of black just to kind of gray it down. You don't need much. Boy, a little dab will do ya. So now I've got more of a kind of a grayish color. Let's see, I'm not crazy about that. So I just added a little bit more burnt sienna. Oh, that's a pretty color. It's not what I was going for, but I like it. Hi, Charlene. The outline, I just watered down black paint and used my #1 round brush and just went over the outline. I'm getting in spots where I need my smaller brushes now. All right. Now I'm going to go in with just the raw sienna and tighten buff, but I'm going to leave it kind of gold for the crown. I want more of the raw sienna than the tighten buff. Just going to take a couple of layers to kind of cover up some of that red. Where do I get my ideas? Well, I haven't sketched in a while, but I used to sketch a lot. And I have sketchbooks full of things that I have never done anything with. So when I'm getting ready to do a painting or I'm planning to do something like this, I just go to my sketchbook and find a sketch that I like that I haven't, done anything with. And pull from that. As far as where do I get my ideas, I always just say it's from the good Lord. I mean, I don't know. I'm constantly inspired. I constantly have ideas that pop in my head. So I just feel like that, for me, it just comes so naturally that I don't think about it as being unique just because it seems so natural. If that makes any sense at all. So let's see. So again, I'm going to take that same kind of mustardy color, so the raw sienna and the tighten buff, and I'm going to go over these little blue scallops. Tone those puppies down a little bit. Now, when I'm done painting this, I will be sanding. So that's my purpose for layering the paints and the colors like that, because that way when I sand it, some of those colors underneath will pop through, and I think it makes for an interesting painting that way. Thank you, Christy. Go make lunch for the kiddos. Well, thanks, Christy, for joining me today. I do. I like that look. Not on every single painting that I do, but mostly like these folk art kind of paintings or my Whimsy Chicks, I usually leave some of that black line showing, yes. I mean, there'll be spots where it's not showing at all, and then there'll be spots where quite a bit of the line is showing. Now I'm going in with the raw sienna, just not mixed with anything, just raw sienna, and painting that crown again. Thank you. All right, let's see. I need to paint this thing, it's really bugging me. So I'm gonna take, I'll just continue to use my number 4 filbert, and I'm gonna use Titan Buff, which actually I need to grab more of. I got all my paints over there because my palette was over there. So now if I need paint, I'm gonna be reaching in front of you. Sorry about that. So is it still coming in good for everyone? I'm not seeing people saying that it's fuzzy as much as the last time, so. All right, so I'm taking Titan Buff and I'm going to paint over her halo. You know, I painted some matte varnish over the original painting that I'm painting over to preserve it so that when I sand, some of those colors will show through. And it's making it kind of like slippery. When I put the first layer on of this acrylic paint, it doesn't cover real well. I think it's just because of the matte varnish. So this is Titan Buff. Our first layer over the halo. And also, you know, at the end you can go back in, and if you want to add some black lines in certain spots, you can always add those back in. That's what painting is all about, layers and then like shifting color back and forth. If you're watching and you have a bad connection, it's probably me and not you. But I am recording this on my camera, and I'll have the whole thing up on YouTube, so you can watch it there. What color am I going to paint that behind the word love? I'm thinking a mustardy kind of color, maybe. All right, so I'm taking Titan Buff. With a little bit of teal. To go over this house here. So it's creating a nice light blue. I don't have a lot of blue in my paintings, if you've ever noticed that. Not that I don't like the color blue, it's just, I don't know. I don't really decorate with blue, so that's probably why I don't paint with it. But I don't mind, like I like light, if I'm doing something like this where I don't want a lot of busyness, just a bunch of different shades of light blues and pinks and greens and yellows. Like they're just kind of a all light and just kind of, I can't explain them. I'm searching for the words of what I'm trying to say here. So that helps because that house was just glaring. So again, that was Titan Buff with just a little bit of the teal, creates that. And then what we could do is if we take the Titan Buff with the teal and then add a little, let's add burnt umber to it. Burnt umber is a nice chocolatey color. And it creates a little bit more of a muddy blue. That actually looks more like gray, doesn't it? I don't mind that color. I don't like this color. Let's take Titan Buff. Can you tell I like Titan Buff? It's like I mix it with everything. Yes, it'll be on YouTube. You know, I was gonna just like speed up the painting on YouTube, but I think I'll actually put the entire, you know what I'll do? This is what I'm gonna do. I will, at the beginning of the video, I'll do like a speed painting video so that someone that just wants to see it get done quickly can watch the speed painting. And then if you want to continue to watch it, if you want to then paint along, then you could, you know, continue watching it in real time. Does that make sense? I need to get in front of this just for a second, just so I can add these black lines in for the halo. So I kind of lost myself in where the halo lines are. And then over here. There. All right, I'm out of your way now. Oh, thank you, Charlene. Yeah, I think that will be the best way to do it. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. So that grayish background color that we created earlier, I'm just going to grab some of that and go in around that halo. Just in these couple spots here. All right, I think I'm going to mess around with her hair a little bit. Okay, so for her hair, we're going to take burnt sienna and raw sienna. Add some titanium white. And just mix it until you get a shade of color that you like. So I'm making it lighter so I can put some highlights in. Well, that kind of matches that crown a little bit, but we can always go in and lighten the crown too. So now I'm just going to add a little bit more titanium white and a little bit more of the raw sienna for even lighter highlights for her hair. Really, Kev? And I've said tighten buff how many times? That's funny. Crazy. All right. I'm going to go in and do some highlights in her face and just let some of that other paint dry. So again, I'm going to go over the colors I use for skin tone, which is Hansa yellow, and then you just do a little touch of the Pyro red. And a lot of Titan buff, especially since I'm putting in highlights. I might even add, let's just see what I come up with here. I'm going to add a little bit of titanium white to that as well, just to really give it some highlights. That's too yellow. Hold on, I got to grab a little bit of... Let's see what we got here. Like on her chin, the tip of her nose, on her cheek, forehead. My hand's in the way, isn't it? Hey Lisa, how are you? How are things in your neck of the woods? Okay. I am going to make these stars kind of a grayish color. So I'm going to use my black and my titanium white, but I don't like, when it comes to gray, I like a warm gray. So I'm going to add in a little bit of Hansa yellow. And raw sienna. I think that's a little bit too close to the background color though. But it's a start. I need a smaller brush, I'll tell you that much. You are healthier in North Carolina. Well, that is good. Yeah, our numbers are like doubling here. I haven't left the house in 14 days, and I don't plan on it. You know, it's not worth it. Kev, God bless him, he's the one going out and getting the groceries and doing that kind of stuff. But he's laid off work now. So we're just staying home. We're doing the best we can to avoid people. It was so sad because yesterday was Kyle's birthday. I mean, he's a grown man, but still, he's our son. And I celebrate, I mean, we put on a dinner normally and kind of make a day of it, usually the Sunday closest to someone's birthday. But we couldn't do it this year, and it's just like, this just isn't right. It just seems so odd. Didn't even get to see him for his birthday. Well, his birthday was Monday, but we would have normally celebrated it on Sunday with the whole family. Hi, Debbie. Just got a text from working at home. All right, we'll see you, Deb. That's funny. A drive-by 8th birthday party. Strange times we're living in. Oh, shoot. I did not need to do that. Doggone it. There we go. I should have turned off all my notifications, but I didn't. Or turned the do not disturb on, or whatever you call it. Yes, I do. I love metallic paints for like the crown and just in some spots on the painting. Yes, I love that. I may have to add that to the list of paints that I tell people to get that are joining the CW Live course, because, or the membership, because we will be using that eventually. She's coming to life, don't you think? I don't know if I'm going to keep that funky little flower there. I feel like if I'm going to keep that one here, I'm going to need yeah, the metallic paint that I love, I wonder if I have it right here. It's golden, and they have, no, I don't have it right here. Shoot. Anyways, it's a golden brand, and it's the fine metallic. And it has great coverage, and it's really shiny. It's just so pretty. Okay, I'm covering this red up, y'all. It's starting to bug me. I'm gonna just cover that up with just raw sienna, like the crown, for now. Yes. Yeah, we could do that for Kyle. I'm going to fill the inside of this in with Titan Buff for now. We can always go back in and add a color or change it, but sometimes it's just good to get that first layer down. And so you can see what you got going on there. Again, I'm not doing like full coverage either, because I love that little green right there. I'm going to leave that. So that's just Titan Buff. I think I'm going to leave that little flower there too. I bet it's hard, this whole social distancing, if you have little kids. Like, you know, our kids are grown up, so like an 8-year-old, or, you know, they're a little bit older, you know, they're used to school age, they're used to being with their friends. And then to keep them occupied so they're not bored to death. Oh yeah, that looks better. Every little step makes a difference, doesn't it? I'm going to lighten her crown up a little bit here. Oh, you liked the red around there? Well, originally it was just going to be like a bunch of just different shades of cream and white. I wanted it to just be more kind of grungy. So the fact that I have any color in it is a plus, because I wasn't planning on doing that. But originally when I was going to do this painting, I wasn't planning on painting it over top of another painting. So that's another reason that it's taken on a little bit different look than I had planned originally. Okay, so the background color, I'm just going to add Titan Buff with raw sienna, Titan Buff, and a little bit of, let's do raw umber and see what we get. And a little titanium white. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm getting rid of that. I decided I don't like it. So when you add like another color in that's different than what you already have in the background, it's just kind of good to go around the painting and add it in a few other spots. I think I'm taking that thing out too. You really like that change? What change was that? Taking out that flower there. Oh. That house needs some work. So now I'm going back in and I'm recreating that green color because I got to put that in there, and I'll probably work on the ground, and I'll probably make that kind of a green too. So, if I can remember how I did that. Hold on, I got to clean all my brushes off here. I wonder how long I've been on. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep going. Okay. So to make that green, I used chromium oxide green, Hansa yellow, and then I dulled it down with, I know I used raw sienna, ooh, now I added way too much Titan Buff. Hold on. Got to add a little more green in there and a little bit more of the yellow. I'm going to go ahead and paint over those flowers, but when I do the sanding, they may show through anyways. Let's see. I'm not crazy about that color, so I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna in there because the burnt sienna is going to tone that down so it's not so bright. If you've noticed my styles, I'm not big into bright colors. For the most part. I have a feeling I'm going to be painting the rest of this tomorrow. I wonder how long you can actually go live on Facebook. I'm sure there's a cutoff. Now I'm just using that same color, but I'm using a smaller brush. I'm using number 4 filbert, just so I can get a little bit better on these edges here. That looks better, doesn't it? Looks more like land. All right, Charlene, see you later. Thanks for being here. Okay. When I get the YouTube video up, I'll put a link in these comments so that hopefully y'all will see it. You like that change. Thank you. So all these colors that I'm using on this painting, hold on, I gotta get rid of this thing here. All the colors I'm using in this painting are derived from, what do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 paint colors, and I'm getting all of this. Not to mention, they're all muted and dulled down too. So, I mean, I've used this paint palette, this paint color palette for years. When I was doing Creative Studio Uncut, I mean, we went for well over a year, I believe, just with this paint palette. Because at first I was, you know, doing these lessons for them, and I was having them buy all these different craft paint colors, and instead of mixing color. But then I thought, you know, this is getting ridiculous. Some of the paints got discontinued for some of the tutorials I had done, you know, so I decided to use paint colors that are always going to be around, and then teach the students to mix color, which is way more valuable anyways. So okay, Robin, thanks for being here. You have a great night too. So how's it looking, Kevin? Is it fuzzy? Is it still good? I need more white paint. Excuse me. Colleen, hi. What you doing today? Today's Tuesday. Did you film today? Today's your floss tube day, isn't it? So underneath, when I painted that first color of Titan Buff, I made a lot of like I put it on thick, and there was a lot of grooves. And now as I'm painting this white over top, that's showing through because I'm kind of dry brushing, and it looks really cool. I don't know if you can see it, but you just have to trust me. Sorry, my head had to get in the way there. That is not a very round circle. I'm gonna fix that. A good trick to that is find something that's about that size that's round. I wonder if my paper plate, I think the paper plate's gonna be way too big. Yeah, I can tell by looking at it, it's gonna be big. But like sometimes I'll find a bowl or something that you can put on there and trace around it. But I'm just eyeballing it, so it's not perfect. I'm actually gonna take this down. Oh, you filmed tonight, okay. Today is frustrating. I did several quilt blocks on your son's nuclear alien quilt and placed green and gray arrows in the wrong. Oh no! So now you have to redo it. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's so frustrating. You're trying to, you know, make progress and aggravating, huh? All right, so this side, let me see. I like this side better. So now I'm going to take watered down black paint and try to just kind of make this circle a little bit better. Another trick is, like, if you're trying to make something like a circle like I'm trying to make right now, take your piece and go and look in the mirror. Because when you look at things backwards, you'll see things that you didn't when you were looking forwards. Another trick is to take a picture of it and then with your camera or your phone camera and then look at it small. When you look at things big and you shrink them way down, you'll see things that you didn't before as well. So I'm going to do what I think is fixing this circle. And then I'm going to go and look in the bathroom mirror with it and see if I can see anything else that needs fixed. So I'll have to leave you here for a second. Oh, that looks a little better, I think. But like I said, I need to go look in the mirror. What do you think? Looks a little bit better, doesn't it? I'll be right back. I'm going to go run into the bathroom real quick and look in the mirror and see if my circle looks good. Hi. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I said hi to you all and my dog thinks someone's here. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to give you a close-up look at what I've done so far. The circle's better, but it's not perfect. So can you see some of the detail now? See what I was talking about up here? When I put the Titan buff down, I put it on real thick, so then when I put the white over it, you can still see the underneath texture. It's getting there. I'm going to continue to work if you want to hang out with me. And then, but I will definitely be spending time tomorrow finishing it up. This too shall pass into the garbage. Well, thanks, Colleen. Babe, I can't move the camera closer. It's my laptop. Can't do it. Unless you want to come down here and hold it for me. Exactly. It's a primitive, whimsical painting, so we're not trying to be realistic here. Thanks, Colleen. I kind of like this roof right here. That's from the underpainting. It's kind of funky. I kind of like it. So Kev, you coming down to hold my laptop? Yeah, this, if you want to see how it's going to look when I do CW Live, I have on there videos that I took when I was doing Colgate Studio Uncut, and the camera was over top of the painting. So it's perfectly square and I can zoom in and out. Even with using my camera, I should be able to zoom in and out. So, I mean, when I say camera, I meant my phone. Because it's going to be live, so I can't do it on a camera. I have to do it on my phone. All right, let's... What am I gonna paint next? I would like to paint these scallops. I'd like to get one coat on this entire painting before I go today. So just gotta figure out what color I'm gonna use. I'm going to use burnt sienna, chromium green oxide, titanium white, God, that's really gray. I did not think it would be that gray with the green in there. This is a color that I mix sometimes to do shadows on faces, like under the nose and stuff. It's such a pretty color. I'm going to add a little bit of teal in there, just because I think it needs a little punch. That's better. So see the difference? I'm going to put some stripes. I'm going to put some stripes on that little scallop I just did. So I'm going to use teal. Teal mixed with raw umber and some titanium white to lighten it up. I don't know about that color. Need to darken it a little bit. So I'm going to add, I added a little bit more teal and then some burnt sienna. And I'm just going to make stripes. And they're going to be very subtle. And we might go in and add more stripes of a different color. And I'm just being random, and I'm not, like Colleen said, it's primitive. It's whimsical. forgot to eat lunch. I'm kind of hungry. Man, I'm missing a lot of calls. I don't know. I think 2 or 3 people try to call me while I'm doing this live. Okay. The color, well, I'll just mix it again so you can see. I'm going to use raw sienna with just a little bit of Titan Buff. And we're going to paint the centers. Yeah, I need more raw sienna. Sorry, I have to reach over again. I just add a little bit more raw sienna and just a touch of it, a hint of yellow, just to kind of, that's too much. Give it a little bit of a pop of yellow. Man, I got this hair just bugging me. Tried to take it off my brush more than once. My chair keeps squeaking. Alright, I'm just going in with a little bit of titanium white. I really haven't done much with her eyes, have I? I think she needs a little more brightness in her eyes. So our color that we mixed for her skin tone is Titan Buff, Hansa Yellow, and Pyro Red. Those 3 colors mixed at different degrees will give you your skin tones. To do shadows, like you could take, I'm going to take that chromium oxide green and add it in, and you'll see here how, oops, that's too light. A little bit more of the green, and you'll see how it creates nice shadows. Also, burnt sienna is good for shadows. I also like to use teal. You've probably noticed that if you are familiar with my work. I use a lot of teal in the shadows. My stomach's growling. I hope you can't hear that. So I'm taking some burnt umber. I'm just going to kind of fix her hairline a little bit. Sorry, I'm blocking the painting a little bit there, but it's hard to paint over to the side. So I changed her hairline a little bit. I'm going to go in with some raw sienna, burnt sienna, and Titan Buff and create those highlights for the hair like we did earlier. We need to put some of those highlights back in because we kind of changed her hairline. That looks better. Okay, what color eyes do we want her to have? That's when the ultramarine blue would come in handy, which I don't have on my palette right now. So a little bit of ultramarine blue, Titan Buff, and some teal. I'm gonna have to get in front of you again here for a second. Give her some pretty blue eyes. And then we'll add a little highlight, a little sparkle to her eye. I haven't really done her lips yet. So for her lip color, we're going to do Pyro Red. Basically, it's the skin color, but just with a little bit more of the Pyro Red in there. I don't even think I'm saying that paint color right, but that's how I say it. And then if you don't want it like super red, take Pyro Red and mix it with some burnt umber, and you'll get a nice burgundy color. Hi Chris, how are you? You were on the last one, weren't you? The last video? Big difference, huh? This is part 2 of painting this angel because we had such a bad connection. We started over. I'm just going in and just kind of defining her lips a little bit more. I went around it with the flesh tone. Ooh. You're doing awesome. Yesterday was your birthday. Happy birthday, Chris. Where do you live again? Are you on, I'm assuming most states are kind of being, you know, the social distancing is going on. You know, I don't know if every state is on the, you know, quarantine or lockdown or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use that green that we created for the shadows on her face. I'm going to use that again under her nose a little bit. It looks like my connection's getting really bad. Working from home and painting at night. In Atlanta, Georgia, we are in lockdown now. Yeah, so are we. You hear my dog snoring over there? That's pretty hilarious, actually. So the flesh tone that I make with Hansa Yellow, Pyro Red, and Titan Buff, I'm going to make some of that again. With some of the darker tones that we had when we originally put her skin tone down, I want to mimic that. And her nose needs fixed a little bit. I'm going to give her a little nose job. Just right here. Wow, I matched that pretty much exact. That doesn't happen normally. I'm having a hard time with these eyes because I'm looking at this painting at an angle, so it's not the ideal way to paint. Hi, Debbie. Yeah, we had a good run there where it wasn't breaking up too bad and getting fuzzy and all that, but you know, it's probably just one of those things. The more people that are on the, you know, doing lives, I don't know if that affects it. I really don't, but we were doing good there for a while. Oh shoot, that was not supposed to happen. I'm just going in now with some burnt sienna. Something on this painting. Putting a little bit of a red undertone in her hair, you know, like us girls do. Change our hair color. I can see I need to do something with those eyebrows. All right, I'm gonna do this bottom scallop, and then I'm gonna probably do some like spattering and some what do you call that, like washes over it and stuff, and kind of, I don't know, just play around with it. It's gonna get interesting. It's probably about time for me to go, actually. But that will be my last hurrah, and then I will come back on tomorrow and finish it, okay? Let's give this chimney a little work. That's just Pyro Red, not mixed with anything. Okay, so I used up here, I mean, they don't have to match, actually. I might use more green tones down here anyway, so Let's take chromium oxide green. Let's add some teal to that. And some Titan buff. And maybe some raw sienna too. I need a smaller brush. I'm going to use my number 4 filbert. That way these little scallops aren't going to be like jumping out at you. And then we'll add some little stripes in there. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm actually taking the brush off that big brush that I had. Because I hate to put that brush in the water and just waste all that paint. I might keep this color here. I don't mind it so much. Okay, so let's take Hansa Yellow. So this color that we just did here, all I'm gonna do to it is add Hansa Yellow and some titanium white. Let's see what we get with that. That looks cool. Shows up way better than the one up here. So I'm going to go up here now and play around and add some little stripies with that same color. No, this is not a project for a calendar. This is just something I wanted to do live and, you know, kind of give instruction as I went with a list of colors I'm using so that if someone wants to paint this while they're, you know, at home and looking for things to do, they could watch it again and paint it themselves. Payroll red. I've always called it payroll red because I've never heard anybody say it. So I'm like, looks like payroll red to me. Payroll. Well, hey, everybody likes payroll. And let it go because my other battery's still charging. We're about done for today anyways. I want to just add a little bit of brightness to that crown of hers. So I'm taking raw sienna and Titan buff. And just kind of dry brushing, leaving some of that gold, the darker raw sienna to show. Oh, I like that better. Let's see. I'm going to use that same color Actually, I'm going to darken it a little bit with some raw sienna. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but the cool part about painting is if you don't like it, you can change it. Way easier to change a painting than to fix a quilt, right, Colleen? I don't know if you're still on here, hon, but I feel so bad for you. Because, oh my gosh, cutting the fabric and you sewed it and everything. Oh, that's heartbreaking. I'm going to add a little bit more shadow on the sides of her face. Like right here, I feel like she needs a darker shadow. So I just take basically the skin tone, I add the chromium oxide green and maybe some teal in there. And a little bit of burnt sienna. It just makes for a nice shade for shadowing. That's a little too green, I think. A wee bit green. So if you mix teal with the burnt sienna, that looks good too. A little more brown. So I'm going to add raw sienna just to the parts of her eyebrows that are kind of going under her hairline. Does that make sense? And then just blending those paints together. That looks better. All right, bye, Chris. Thank you. You have a great evening too. Oh, I never thought to Google the pronunciation of that paint color. Yeah, Google knows everything. I think she's quite adorable. I am going to use, I'm going to take some raw umber and just get it really watery. And maybe mix it with some, let me just mix it and see if I like it first. Yeah, I mixed it with raw sienna. So that's that kind of gold color. Okay. Hold on, I gotta fix this. Okay. Kind of gives it an antique look. You know, like old photos when they have the kind of yellowed look. Just adds a warmness to this painting. And then the other thing you can do is take different colors. Like I'm going to take some Pyro Red and just, I might not like this, y'all. If I don't, I can always take it off. Oh, I do like it. So I took watered down Pyro Red and I'm just spattering it. And it looks really cool. I like doing washes like that over top of the painting just because it changes the look so much. Can add a little bit of texture by doing that with the paper towel. But I like to see drips. I like to see that running down like that. I can tell that wants to run down. That's kind of fun. It's funny, the other day I was just flipping through the channels and, oh gal, Bob Ross was on and I thought, oh my gosh, this should just be like streaming 24/7. I mean, for all I know it is, but you know, you could just sit and watch him paint and listen to him. His voice is so soothing, and he's like the happy little trees, and this is your world. You know, you want your tree over here, put it over there. It's just fun to watch him and listen to him. But he's right. It's your happy little world you're painting. You do what you want. So now I'm just basically going in on my palette and taking colors that are on my palette, and I'm just going in and randomly putting them all over just to add some interest. I feel like her face is way too, I don't know, yellow. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try something. If I go over her face with a light wash of just titanium white, and if I don't like it, I've got paper towel right here. I should be using rags because paper towel, we can't even get it at the grocery store right now. It's like, so if I do that and then I go in and just dab it, like I don't really want it over her eyes. Well, that was kind of fun. Kind of makes it look like it's out of focus. Hey, kind of like this whole video, right? All right, guys, I think I'm pretty much done with what I can do today. And again, I'm just going in with colors that are on my palette already and just putting marks in different colors around the painting. I'm going to do some more spattering before I go. I'm just afraid I'm going to get it on the wall or something behind me. I can't wait till I get my area set up where I can paint and have like a canvas or something on the wall behind me, or I don't know, just to, so I can be a little more carefree with my paints and not worry about getting on the wall or something. Okay, I think we're done for today. So join me again tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little close-up for you so you can see, because it's, I'm not sure, well, maybe I need that light on. Maybe it'd be better if I actually held up my, hold on, do you want to end this video? No, I didn't say that. Okay, hold on. Can you see the drips, and can you see the red spatters? I don't know how to hold this so you can see it good, but anyways, hopefully you can see it. I will post some close-up pictures of it in the feed here in the comments, okay? So thanks guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me during all of the fuzziness and the bad connection that we had. All right, take care. Bye now. Hi guys, I am here. I'm just trying to get everything set up, and I probably should get my laptop out, otherwise I can't see any comments. I didn't think of that part. So after yesterday, and the bad connection that we had, my husband said, well, maybe go live on your phone and, you know, not use the Wi-Fi. So that's what I'm doing today. But now I've got to get my laptop going, or I'm not going to be able to see what y'all are saying. And half the fun of going live is to visit with everyone, so bear with me. What's everyone up to today? I don't have a whole lot to do on this painting. I really like it the way it is. I just want to fix some of the windows on the houses. I really like this bottom border with the reddish. All I did was take Pyro Red and watered it down, and kind of just did a wash over that right there, and I like it. And I'm wondering if I should do that on the top. What are you guys' thoughts on that? What are your guys' thoughts on that? That's a beautiful sentence, isn't it? Hey, we're facing the right way now. All right. Let me know if you could comment and just let me know if you can hear me okay. Can you see this okay? Is it blurry like yesterday, or is it doing, yeah, third time's a charm. Hi, Karen. Hi, Mendy. Hi, Alyssa. Thank you, Kristen, for your motivation, or what do you call that? Your encouragement. Third time's a charm. I don't know where I'm supposed to put this. I'm telling you. You should see the little cubby I've carved out for myself to get this filming done. It's kind of ridiculous. So I'm going to have to walk in front of the screen because I got to put my laptop on something so I can read it. I had a spot for it, but it's kind of far away, and my old eyes is not going to be able to see it. So, I got something a little bit closer. Hi, Beth. There we go. Let's see, I got my other camera going. Gosh, dog. Technological difficulties for sure. You like the red wash too? Okay, I know, I do too. I kind of thought this yellow made it kind of like sunshine and mimicked the yellow, green yellow down here. But I don't know. I can always paint it red, and if I don't like it, I can go back over it, right? Did you see the spatters? The green spatters, or green, oh my gosh. I do know my colors, y'all. The red, like I watered down the pyro red and I did some spattering. You can kind of see my palette on there too. Maybe if I moved it over a little bit. It's like I'm trying to get out of the way a little bit for you. And the other thing is I switched this whole thing around. I'm not only recording on my phone instead of my laptop, but my arm, I noticed yesterday my arm was in the way half the time. But now I'm even in a more kind of awkward position for painting, but it'll be all right. So I'm gonna do that red wash on these top ones and see what happens. Of course, if it's too watery, it's gonna run down the painting, but that might be kind of cool. Then again, it could look like blood dripping. That would not be cool. Oh, you remember when I was doing the red spatter yesterday? And I said, oh my gosh, this red spatter is probably getting all over the place. Guess where it got? All over my laptop. Yeah. It was spattering behind me for whatever reason. I don't even think I have my paper towel over here. Here it is. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn her upside down. Because what I was afraid was going to happen is happening. That red is just kind of dripping. It looks a little different just because it has yellow behind it. So it's not quite the same shade of red. Hi, Susan. Hi, Beth. You're at work, orthopedic office, so we're still considered essential. Yeah, I think pretty much everyone in the medical field is essential business. I mean, I had a doctor's appointment. Well, it was before we were on the quarantine, and they called me to make sure I was going to come in, and I meant to call because it was like the next day was my appointment, and they called to see if I was gonna, you know, to remind me of my appointment, and I'm like, oh, I've been meaning to call you today because I'm not coming in. I said, you are where sick people go. I said, I'm not coming in. She goes, oh, I understand. So we made an appointment for May, but who knows if this whole thing's going to be done by May. If you're wondering why I'm painting upside down, if you just joined me, it's because I did some red wash on these little scallops, and it's so runny, I didn't want it running down the painting. So I like when things are kind of skewed or wonky. Like all your lines don't necessarily have to be straight and perfect, unless you prefer it that way, but I prefer everything a little bit wonky, you know, not perfect. To me, it's more artsy that way. All right, I haven't been calling out colors. What I did right there was I took white and the black and made a gray and added a little bit of red into it just to kind of make it a little like a purplish gray color. So that's what I did there. Now I'm taking the raw sienna, which is kind of that gold color, and adding a little bit of Hansel yellow just to get it a little bit more yellow. I just think this needed to be a little bit more yellow. Hi, Rosanna. Okay, what else did I want to change on this? It was mostly the windows and that scallop that I wanted to change. I don't really like this color as much as I do that color. So what I can do, I'm trying to remember what color was under there. It was kind of a rosy color, wasn't it? Let me see if I can mimic it a little bit. If I can mimic that color and then paint the red wash over it, it would look better. Because it's got too much yellow in it right now. So what I'm doing with that is I'm taking Pyro Red, white, and some burnt sienna to get this pinky kind of color. And when that dries, I'll do that red wash over top. Ah! Okay, now I have more paint on my laptop. Oh my gosh. So Kevin was doing some research this morning, and so I was gonna get the new, and I probably still will, the new iPhone 11 Pro or something like that. It's got like 3 cameras on it. And I was gonna use that for my going live. And he did some research and found out that there's a lot of cameras that you don't have to, like, I didn't realize a regular just camera could go live on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. But evidently they can. They make them that can. So that looks like what I'm going to be purchasing soon to do my live videos with. It'll just be a better quality, and it won't use up my phone that way. Some of these black lines are just a little bit much. Just kind of minimizing those black lines a little bit over there. And that was just Titan Buff I was using to kind of get rid of some of those lines. And now I'm using titanium white to go back in and make just the illusion of feathers. I'm not actually painting detailed feathers on there. So what do you think? Is the quality better today, y'all? Is it still fuzzy? Are you able to see good? I just wondered if using my phone was better than my laptop. And if that's the case, when I go live tonight with Kristen, I will probably use my phone instead of my laptop. I feel like that house is a little bit bright compared to everything else. It's drawing my eye over there because it's bright. And it's not bright compared to some other people's bright, but just in the overall feel of the painting, I feel that that house is too bright. So I'm going to go in and mix up, let's see, let's take some teal. Oh, and I'm using my number 4 filbert, by the way. I'm going to use teal, and I'm going to use some green. Looks like it's still getting fuzzy. It is clear? Good. It's showing fuzzy. You know what I heard too? Yeah, so because this is interesting, because so many people are live streaming, everything, when you watch a live stream, like I'm just looking right now at my computer where I can read all your comments on my laptop, and the quality is set at auto, which is 144, I don't know, pixels, is that what that means, the P? So I'm going to click it onto 360 and I bet it will look more clear. So if you are having trouble, if it's like fuzzy for you, go into, it's a little, hold on, let me just show you. I can just hold this up and show you. Oh, why does it say live video interrupted? Okay. Trying to wait to see if you can see this. So if you go down here, see that little gear? Click on that little gear, and where it says quality, go up to quality. Oh, it's on 360 now because I set it on 360. But it was on 144, like way down here. So that could be part of it too if it's not clear for you. But anyways, I had heard that everything is just running at the minimum quality. Because so many people are live streaming. So that's what I heard anyway. And it makes sense. But now that I change it to 360, it looks a lot better. Okay, back to it. I'm gonna make that kind of a buttery yellow. So that yellow I mixed up for her crown, I think I'm just gonna use that. So that was raw sienna, that gold color with a little hint of yellow, and then a lot of Titan Buff. And let's see if I like it when it's yellow. And then let some of that blue show through. Now it's too bright to me. So now I'm adding some burnt sienna in there just to tone it down a skosh. That was so funny when the first time I went live, I never used that camera thing. It's mounted into my ring light, and I should have tested it before I went live, and I mean, I didn't think it would be a big deal. And then the second time I went live, I had the stinking thing on the front-facing camera, and everything's backwards, so. But we got it, like Kristen said, third time's a charm. All right, I wonder if this is dry enough. That seems dry enough. I'm gonna try that red wash on there. And if I don't like it, I'll just paint it some other color. No worries. That looks way more similar to the bottom scallops now, I think. So has anybody been watching like a good Netflix series? I've heard people talk about Tiger King, but I really don't know what that's about. I think, well, actually I do, but I don't know if it's something I'd be interested in. Someone said yesterday that it was, I don't know, I was watching someone on YouTube and they said they watched it and it was like, one person said it was sad, so I don't know what that meant. But another person said that it was a person that like lives with a tiger or some tigers. I don't know how many tigers this person has, but hey Carrie, thanks for joining me. Okay, I'm kind of at a point where I want to do the sanding. So, gal, I'm trapped right here where I'm sitting. I can just move my laptop, I guess. So I'm gonna go get my dryer, my little heat gun, and I'm gonna dry that real quick. And then I'm going to bring it back over and I will, I mean, I guess I could dry it right here where y'all are at. So, Carrie, what does Lincoln think of all this? I'm so curious as to what kids, like the age of, you know, 7 to 15, 16, 17, 18, you know, like that age group, I'm curious what they think about all this and the fact that they're not at school, you know, do they think, oh, this is cool, I can do schoolwork from home, I don't have to go to school, or is it like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored, I wish I had school? I'm just curious, you know, I'm curious, you know, are children scared of this whole thing, worried about it, you know what I mean? Because I know me as a child, I'd have been scared to death about what's going on right now. I was kind of a nervous Nelly when I was little. I shouldn't say little, but younger. Well, way younger. I don't know what I'm saying. I keep thinking my laptop is a touch screen. Do you guys ever do that where you're like trying to touch the screen to make things move? Okay. If I just dab these, it might be dry enough if I just don't sand up there. I wonder if I've got sandpaper on this table. Sure would be nice if I could move around a little bit. Okay, no sandpaper. That was bad planning on my part. I would be, oops, I just hit my camera. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I gotta cover my paints so we don't get dust in them. All right. I love it. It's making like scrapes in the paint. So there's flowers under here. There's some flowers in this part that I'm hoping if I scrape or sand on there, some of those flowers will poke through. That's the goal. Sorry, my head's gonna block this a little bit. Look at it. See that little flowers showing through now? Probably getting all this stuff on my computer. I need to put a piece of paper over that computer. My poor computer is getting abused. Oh, I was gonna show y'all. So I'm doing CW Live. CW Live is going to be painting lessons online, but it's going to be an overhead camera looking down. So it won't be like this. You'll be able to see it easier. You'll be able to see my palette sitting right next to my painting. Anyways, that starts next Tuesday. And I was going to show you the sketch of the angel that we're going to do. I haven't pieced her together yet. Yeah, I'll have to go get the sketch because I had to enlarge it and I haven't pieced it together yet. So let me think you want to see. So I can see there's another flower there. I'm going to try to reveal, whoops, try to reveal that flower. I love that. So this flower's showing now. This flower's showing. I don't know if there's any flowers over here. There's one right here by this house though. Oh, it's so cute. There's a flower right here. See, that's why I love painting over top of other paintings, because the underlying, the first painting that you did, you know, you're bound to have texture and things that will show through when you do the second painting. So never worry if you did a painting and you don't like it. Who cares, right? We're just going to paint over it. Okay, so remember when I originally painted her crown red? So I don't know how clear you can see that, but I have several coats of paint over top of that red. Well, I shouldn't say several, at least 3. Can you see the red, how when I sanded it, the red shows through? I love that. That's why I layer paint. And you know, if you watch me paint, sometimes you think, oh, why did she paint that color? You know, but then I paint color over that, and I paint a color over that, and then every time I sand, it reveals colors underneath. Thank you, Becky. Hi, Daisy. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Becky. Oh, thank you, Anne. One of my angels sits over her bed and brings her much comfort. That's so sweet. Hi, Georgia. Oh, you're quite welcome. From the UK. Hi, Anne. Okay. I think I like it just the way it is. Well, I haven't sanded up here much. Hold on. A little bit more sanding so it all looks the same. Okay. So I need to brush that off, wipe it off a little bit with a paper towel. What is that little blob? It's funny because things appear like this right here appeared from the sanding. And there used to be like a little funky green flower right there. That's kind of poking through now. It's kind of cool. The only thing I want to cover is when I had to redefine my circle. Oops. I need to paint over that part. And then after that, I'm going to put gloss. Well, I gotta sign it and I gotta paint the sides. Then I'm gonna put gloss varnish over the top of it, and because I am gonna crackle this. So, oh, that's more gray. Okay. So I'm going to apply the gloss varnish. So the gloss varnish that I use is Liquitex gloss, and oh shoot. I'm trying to move stuff out of the way so I can get to my sink. So I use Liquitex gloss varnish. I've explained this before, but some people might be new on this video. So the Liquitex varnish, I put a coat of that on. I let it dry for 1 hour, and then I apply Josonia Crackle Medium. And then after that is dried, you'll see cracks formed all over the painting. I'll go live when I do it so you can see. And then when that's dry, you go over it with watered down raw umber, and that will fill in the cracks and bring all the cracks to life. So the painting process is done, but we still have a little bit to do. Oh, and I gotta paint the sides. Before I put the gloss varnish on, I'm going to paint the sides of this. And a lot of times I paint the sides black, but I think I'm going to do it a different color this time. I don't know what color. Like a burgundy, not a burgundy, a turquoise. Why did I say burgundy? All right, so I'm going to take teal, and I'm going to add the chromium oxide green to it, with some burnt sienna to tone it down, dull it down a little bit, and then some titanium white. Let's see what we get. Maybe a little tinge of black. Is tinge a word, y'all? Hi, Sandra. All right, what do you think of that color? I think that'll look good with it. I think it actually should be a little more green though, don't you? Let me add a little bit more chromium oxide green, a little more titanium white. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I am going to paint the edges of the painting now. This is a number 16 flat brush, and it's about the width of this, the edge of this, which works perfect. So by painting the edge of this, you won't have to frame it, which I'm all about that. Not that I don't like things framed, but I don't think I have any of my paintings framed that are in my house. They're just on cradled board or canvas, and the sides are painted. So what I could do, which would be kind of fun, is I could paint each side a different color too. I've never done that. It just jumped in my head. Scary, isn't it? So I actually love this. So some of the paint, like the bristles, come up on this part of the painting, but I love that. It kind of gives it a grungy edge. All about the grungy edge. Yeah, this is hard to hold this into. So I'm still here. You can talk to me. Why gloss? Good question. I forgot to tell you. The reason I put the gloss on is because it creates a slippery surface for the crackle medium to slide on. Does that make sense? Because the first time I used the Jo Sonja crackle medium, it didn't crackle very well, and I was disappointed. And just through trial and error, I figured it out. And if you kind of stop and think about it, it does make sense. The gloss just creates a slippery surface to get better cracks out of your medium. Trial and error. I learned a lot by trial and error. Don't we all, right? No better way to learn than just to do it and figure it out as you go. However, I have done a lot of trial and error and got a lot of things figured out. That's why I love teaching. I know y'all can't really see what I'm doing, but it's really the only way I can get these sides painted. And of course I didn't mix enough of that paint color, so I keep going back and adding more. All four edges look different anyway, just because I have to remix the paint and it's not perfect. Not a perfect match every time. Alright, we're on our last edge here. Will I be making prints of this to sell? Yes, I will. I might even sell this original, because it really doesn't match my house, although I really like it. I'd hang this in my studio. I haven't had any new originals on my Etsy shop in a long time. and I have some that I want to sell. It's been so busy here, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. Okay, so all my edges are done. So I'm just going to hold this for a little bit, give it a chance to dry some. So is there anyone on here that does punch needle? I got a new punch needle I just finished. I'm so excited. Do I put gesso on the back of your canvas to seal? I don't. I've never done that. Actually, this is cradled board. It's a piece of wood. I love cradled board. That's my favorite thing to paint on. Well, my favorite thing to paint on actually is like old breadboards, because there's so much cool texture in those old boards. But I just prefer to paint on wood. Canvas, you know, has that little bounce to it, and it's not my favorite thing. Anyways, any punch needle people on here? Well, I'm going to show you anyway. I just did this new punch needle, and I'm so excited about it. It's so cute. Look, guys. Isn't it cute? I don't know what I'm going to name it yet. Someone said Smokey, which I love. Smokey for the little cat. But if you're not familiar with punch needle, it's done with this is 3 strands of embroidery floss, and then the punch needle is the actual specific tool, and you work, this is weaver's cloth, and you work from the back, and you punch the needle into the fabric until it won't go in any further, and then when you pull it out, you slide it across the fabric and punch it in again, and you're just filling in the spaces with threads. And I love the way it looks. It's very cool. See how it's kind of raised up. And I designed this piece around an antique little paddle thingy, butter paddle I think it's called, that I have bought antiquing one time, and so I designed that to fit on it. So okay, now back to the painting. I'm going to put the gloss on. I just wanted to let it dry a little bit. I think it's pretty good. I'm still getting a little bit off there. Not bad. Okay. You love that cat. Thank you, Veronica. Hi, Debbie. All right, so I'm gonna take this and just kind of lean it a little bit. Otherwise, my gloss will run too fast. Hopefully, you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. So tonight, y'all, if you're not busy, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Kristen of Shabby Perceptions and myself, we go live every Wednesday night at the same time, give or take a few minutes depending on technical difficulties or not, and we go live and paint together and chit chat with y'all. It's not like how I painted yesterday and I was giving like instructions on, you know, what color I was using, what brush I was using. It's not like that. It's not quite as informational. However, you can ask questions and we'll answer them. And we just paint and chit chat with y'all, and it's so fun. I'm working on a folk art, like an early American folk art eagle. And I probably won't get it done tonight. I should get it really close to done tonight though. And then probably next week I'll have it finished, and then I'll start on something new. Kristen is a furniture artist, and she's getting into more and more like painting on canvas and barnwood and all kinds of cool things. So she's multi-talented. And Kristen and I met in 6th grade, and there was, when she moved to Tennessee and our kids were young, you know, we were busy mothers, and so we kind of lost contact, but we reconnected at a class reunion one year. And anyways, I'm so happy that we did, because she's my girl. She's my soul sister. Okay. I got a little bit of gloss on these edges, which is a real bummer, because now when I put my matte varnish on for the final thing, I'm going to have to put matte varnish on the edges, on the ends, which is fine because it seals it nicely. But so that's it for now, y'all. I'm going to let this dry, and so at about 4 o'clock I'm going to go live again. Between 4:15 and 4:30 I'm going to go live again and show you how I put the crackle on. And then tomorrow, unfortunately, we're not having our grandbabies. We watch our grandchildren every Thursday, but you know, we're isolating ourselves from everybody, so unfortunately they're not going to be here, and it just breaks my heart. But so I will go live tomorrow at 2 o'clock as well and do the finishing touches, which will be to put the raw umber over top of the crackle and then seal it with matte varnish, and then she's done. All right, so any questions before I go? Hi, Bonnie. Do I sign my paintings with paint or something else? I do not sign with paint because I'm horrible at it. It doesn't even look like my signature. I know some artists, they will have more like a symbol that they'll do, because trying to sign with a paintbrush is not easy. So I usually use a permanent Sharpie marker to do my signature. And that just works fine. I need to lay this down flat though, because I can see some of that gloss varnish is starting to like run a little bit. Ooh, I see I missed a spot too. Hold it, hold it, hold it. I missed a spot. So if you miss a spot with your gloss, well, the only thing that's wrong with that is that that spot, the crackle won't work on it. So it's not life or death. It's not a huge deal, but yeah, so I will do my signature once this dries, and then I'll put the crackle over top. Whoops. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna let you go now, and I will see you back here. If you can join me again in about an hour to watch me put on the crackle, that would be wonderful. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you can join me here in a little bit. Do I have this shit? That and that. That's all I need. This flower. Wait, you gotta go like this, okay? If you're gonna film it sideways, you gotta do it like that. Then we want it this way. Hey guys, I'm back to put the crackle on. This will be a very short live video, but it's just for the purpose of showing you how to apply the crackle. How was that last video I did? Is anybody on here that was on that last video? Because I recorded it, or I went live with my phone using like the cellular data instead of Wi-Fi, and I think it did better. I think. And again, don't forget to go into the quality, the little, if you click on the video and you see that little gear pop up, well, that's the quality, and you choose the highest quality, and you should get a better picture as you're watching. Oh yeah, I just did that on mine, so. Hi Beth, welcome. You came back. It looks like it's really fuzzy. Is the reception bad? Well, I'm not painting, I'm just showing how to put on the crackle, so it'll be just fine. Just kind of waiting to see if more people come on here. So Beth, how you doing? Are you hanging in there? Where do you live? I'm in Michigan, and the sun's really trying to poke out today, but it's not making it. It's pretty mild. It's not doing anything. It's not windy, it's not rainy, but it's not sunny either. It looks really fuzzy. How are you, Beth? You're in Connecticut. What's the weather like out there? We probably get similar weather. Hi Judy, welcome. This video is going to be short, so I thought I would just wait a little bit and see if more people jump on. Oh, I was going to show you all that sketch. Okay, so I was talking about CW Live, and CW Live is going to be a membership private Facebook group, and it's for me to teach painting lessons. It's more about, like, we're going to create really awesome projects, but we'll be learning some new techniques, and we'll be painting. Well, here's the first one. Let me just show you. So this is the first sketch. So I supply the PDF download, and once the member prints that off, you take it to the copier, and you can enlarge this 100, I think it was 130%, and it will be 12 by 12 inches. And then I teach how to transfer it to your substrate, and then I go live on Tuesday nights to paint. And then that way the members can paint along with me and ask questions as we go, or they can just watch it and interact with me and then watch it back later to paint it. And then the next week, if we don't finish that painting, then the next week we'll finish the painting. But if we do finish the painting, then the next week is a live Q&A where we talk about whatever is concerning you as an artist, or, you know, what are you struggling with, any kind of thing like that, or just chit-chatting. So anyways, so when you sign up for a session, it's 3 months long, and it's every Tuesday night. and we're going to paint some really fun things in there. So this crackle medium that I use is Joe Sonia crackle medium, and it's very runny. So I'm going to have to kind of have this tilted so that it doesn't just drip off my painting, okay? Did you see that good? All right, cool. 50 degrees there today. Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much. This painting turned out completely different than what I had planned. You know, that's just, I just roll with it. I planned on originally painting just a lot of muted off-white colors, grays and you know, tans and taupes and whites. I didn't plan on putting color in it, but because I painted over top of another painting, some of those colors in the background on the underpainting, I wanted them to show through. So anyways, I just went with it, and you know, sometimes the best laid plans evidently aren't the best laid plans. And I think she turned out beautiful. I love all the different colors. They're still kind of muted colors. They're not real bright. But so I'm just gonna move on here. Hi, Becky. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if you all had been watching my other live videos from yesterday, and then I did one earlier today, but you'll have to go back and look, because I started with a painting, a floral painting that I didn't really care for. So I drew her over top. I traced her, I transferred her over top from my sketch. And then I painted the outline with black, and then I just painted her. And when I sanded it, before I applied the gloss, I sanded it, and as you can see, some of the flowers from the underpainting are showing through. And I think that is so cool. I love it. And like this, and this were all from the underpainting as well. They were like supposed to be green flowers, but now they're green trees. Okay, without further ado, let's get this crackle put on. Before I start though, I want to mention the crackle starts to set up fairly quickly. So what I will do on a painting this size, I'll apply crackle here and I'll put it on with my brush. Actually, I'll squirt it on here, and then I spread it around with my brush, and then I'll go over here and squirt some more and spread it around. And as you're moving around the painting, you don't want to have to go back and touch up any areas. So I hold it up to like a window, like lay it flat and have a window or a light on the other side of me so that I can see the shine, and then I'll know if I have it all covered. If you miss a spot, it's not that big a deal. You just won't have any crackles there. The other thing I want to mention is the thicker you apply this, the less crackles, but the deeper the crackles. The thinner you apply it, you'll get like way more crackles, but they'll be thin little tiny cracks. So it's kind of fun to put it on. I like to have like thick areas and thin areas so that it kind of mixes it up. So let's see how I can do this without completely destroying my laptop that's sitting underneath of it. Okay, so I'm gonna do this so that it's kind of slanted. Maybe if I can rest it right there. Ooh, I like that idea. All right, I'm gonna stand up here. Okay, so, and I don't shake this because I don't want a lot of bubbles, but if I want to mix it, I just kind of swirl it around like that. So I'm just going to put it on in little bits at a time. Oh, you can see my signature there. I didn't have enough on there, I don't guess. Normally I would have this laying flat on a table when I'm doing this, so that I don't have it running all over the painting. So I'm going to kind of turn it so I can see if I think I got all that up there. Again, I try to get it in the light. So I missed a bunch right there, I can see, once I tilted it. So I'm just going to actually add some over here, take a little bit of it in my brush, and then go over here. So I'm being as careful as I can in this situation. The way I'm holding it is making it very difficult, but trying not to have to go over where I've already put it on. The only thing will happen is, because it starts to set up fairly quickly, if you put it on and then later go over it, it will just leave deep grooves in the crackle from the brush, which isn't a horrible thing because it just adds more texture, but I just try to avoid it. I can see it's running right there. I can see that I missed part of her face. The thing I don't want to do is miss like important areas like the face and things like that. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around because this one half is done. Boy, I wish I had this set up better. What I normally do is I'll go around the edges first, because I tend to, even when I put like my matte varnish on, I tend to miss the edges for some reason. And if it pools up in areas, as long as it's not like a ton, that'll be okay because it will just create some really big crackles. Alright, I'm going to set my brush down and kind of look. Oh, I see a big spot I missed right here. I see another spot I missed. Holy cow. I missed a lot right here. I can see that on the other side where I first applied it, it's already starting to set up a little bit. I missed some on this edge, even though I was really trying to get it on the edges first. All right. So I've got some fairly big pools, but I'm not worried about that because, like I said, that will create some really wonderful big crackles. So there you go. I have applied the crackle varnish, and I want to lay it flat to dry. And I'm going to let that dry for quite a while. So let me think. 4:30. I might just wait and go live. Wait until I go live tonight with Kristen for What You Paint Wednesday. So that starts tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you can join us, we would love for you to join us. We have so much fun. I don't know if that time works for you or not, but if you can join us, Kristen, I don't know if she's going to surprise us with something tonight. I don't know if she's doing canvas or she's doing furniture painting, but You have several of my pictures. Thank you so much for your support, Becky. All right, does anybody have any questions before I go? So what will happen is 8 o'clock tonight for What You Paint Wednesday, I'm going to go live and I will finish this painting. I will be applying the raw umber wash to it to bring out the crackles, and then I will apply the matte varnish and it will be done. So if you want to see me do that, join us tonight. I'm going to show you also what I'm working on. This is the painting that I've been working on for What You Paint Wednesday for, I think, I want to say 2 weeks now. Yeah, 2 weeks now I've been working on that. Tonight I should be able to get all the, let me move this painting here. So tonight I should be able to get, see how I have this wing done? I'm assuming you can see that. I don't know what my laptop isn't showing me the live video. So anyways, I'm gonna work on the wing like I have over here. I need to do that to the wing on this side and the tail and on the legs. And I've got more to do for the beak, and you know, just a lot more detail going on. There's going to be stars here, his halo, I guess you'd call it. I don't know, this right here around his head, that needs to be painted, and then all the flowers need to be painted, and then I will be putting the words here. It's a Lincoln quote. I'm trying to remember what it says. It says, "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves." I love Abraham Lincoln and his quotes. He's just so good, so smart, and so wise. So join us tonight and you can watch me work on this as well. I cannot see if anyone's, oh, I see it now. Hi, Beth and Becky. How soon will I be selling copies of the painting that I just did with the angel? That, I mean, I can have that out by Saturday, maybe even Friday. Maybe even Friday. What size are you interested in, Becky? Would you like an 8 by 10, 11, or 11 by 14? I'll just probably actually put it on there in both sizes. So yeah, at my Etsy shop, it's etsy.com/Teresa Kogut. And that's my Etsy shop, and I'll have it in there, like I said, Friday or Saturday. I can have it in there. Ooh, Beth, you've got 60 degrees? Oh no, it says 50. I wasn't close enough. All right, loves. So, any questions real quick before I go? Is anybody going to join us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I hope so. I hope you all join us. We have so much fun. It's way more fun when Kristen is on here with me. Although I heard that Zoom is not working really well these days with Facebook. So we'll just have to see. You're welcome. Thank you. That's so sweet. I'm glad you like it so much you want to buy a print of it. That's very cool. All right. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope to see you tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on my Facebook page. And until then, have a great day. Hey y'all, I have no idea if we're live or not because I have my phone on the the regular camera, not the front facing camera. So let me go and see if I'm live. I'm guessing I am. So y'all are stuck with me tonight. Kristen's not gonna make it. I don't like that I can't see. So here's the deal. I went live the last couple of days and I used my laptop and the reception was horrible because we were using Wi-Fi. So now I'm just using my phone and I'm using, you know, my data plan because we have unlimited, or so I think. You know how that is. All right. Hi guys, I see that there's 9 people here. I'm also recording on my camera, just this part. This is not what I'm working on tonight, other than just for a little while, because I went live the last 2 nights and or last 2 nights, the last 2 days. I'm sorry, my mind is everywhere but here. I'm so sorry. I'll get it together. So I painted this. I started this painting yesterday and finished it pretty much today, putting the crackle on. So I don't know if you can see the crackles at all, but it crackled pretty good. I don't see like any big splits that I like, but in order to get like big splits where your paint actually separates, you have to have like a thick paint that's not cured. So this, you know, painting over top of the other painting, it was rather thin. So I'm just saying. I am having a cocktail tonight. This is a Kentucky Mule without the lime garnish, but it's delish. So I'm not seeing any comments. I have no idea what's going on. Normally when I film What You Paint Wednesday, I have my laptop set up and I can see everybody, but I have my phone and I don't like doing the front facing camera because everything's backwards, and like love would be backwards. So I'm looking now at my laptop and I can tell that you can't see me, but that's okay. It's probably best that way. So all I'm going to do to this, and then I'll get back to the angel that I've been painting. All I have to do to this is use raw umber, which of course is not on this palette. Isn't that lovely? Let me grab the raw umber, which I believe is right here. Raw umber. My favorite paints on the planet. I love golden paints. They have the heavy bell, my God. I don't know what I'm saying. They have the heavy body acrylics, and those are nice too. They come in a tube like this, but I just like this. Is just you twist it and you pour the paint out. It's just easier. Sometimes these get stuck in trying to twist them off, you know. Not so easy. So in order to antique this lovely angel painting, I'm going to use raw umber, and then what you need to do is take an old nasty sock. Okay, it doesn't have to be nasty. It should be clean. It gets nasty after you use it several times though. And I mean, it's t-shirt works. You just don't want, I mean, cotton material is the best. So I just did a close-up though, didn't I? All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and antique it, and then I'll do another close-up so you can see the difference that the raw umber makes. I'm not seeing any comments. It says we have 15 people on. So if you're here, say hi. Give me some hearts. Give me some smiles. Heck, give me angry faces. I don't care. I really don't care. I just need some action here. I'm not seeing anybody making any comments, and that could be just part of my problem here. Thank you. I'm seeing hearts. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate that. Keep them coming. Okay, so this is what I do. I take my sock or my t-shirt, whatever it is, and I mean, normally I just like put my finger in it and then just kind of wrap it up like that. Okay, so my finger is enclosed. I dip it in the water and then I dip it into the raw umber. Oh Lord, I got another color in there. Are you kidding me? Okay. And then I just go over my painting. Oh my goodness. See, I'm seeing crackles now that I didn't see when I just looked at it before I started adding that raw umber. And I love it. I'm hoping that my head's not too much in the way. Kristen, I miss you. It's so quiet here. At least when we do this together, I have your beautiful voice stuck on it. So if you are antiquing and you get too much brown in an area that you don't like, before it sets and really dries, you can re-dip your finger in the water and go over it, and it will lift off, you know, some of that paint if you get too much. So it's pretty forgiving. If you want to see more crackle, you add thicker paint like that. If you want less crackle, you make thinner paint. So it's just raw umber paint with water. I'm a big fan of the crackle, have you noticed? I don't know, is it ever going to go out of style? If it does, don't tell me, please. Alright, sorry for my big head being in the way. I think I got it all. Oh, so another thing I like to do, there's some good crackles up there and they weren't showing up, so I just put the paint on a little bit thicker. Oh my gosh, I'm having a hot flash, y'all. Woo! So, oh my gosh. So I'm looking at my laptop. I just happened to look down at my laptop, which has a major delay on it. I can see the top of my head, and it is not pretty. Like, what is up with that part line? See, I have a double colic right there and then right there. And, like, I wash my hair every other day. Today I did not wash it, so evidently it's not parted right. I don't know. I don't know. Do y'all really care? I don't think you do. I'm not seeing comments. Oh, wait. Hi, Judy. She said she was on earlier in the day when I asked if anyone does needle punch. She got a video call from her daughter at that moment. Oh, thank you. She said she does needle punch and she loves the new kitty. Cool. All right, so another thing that I like to do in order to kind of age it and antique it a little bit is I will go and kind of make the corners a little bit darker than the rest. So just add more of the raw umber to your amazing sock. And if you do that and just kind of fade it in, I don't know, it just makes it look a little old around the edges. Why do I like that so much? I really can't say, other than I love antiques, I love old stuff. And you know what? I'm getting old, so. All right, I think she's done. I think she's gorgeous. So I'm going to zoom in with her so that you can see the crackles better. Also, another thing you can do, like if you want to create a shadow, let's say you want her to just stand out and look like there's a shadow behind her. Let me just show you. I might not keep that though. You can take your raw umber and kind of outline everything. And it just creates this nice little shadow. Do you see it pop? I don't know how good this reception is for you to see that. But I've done that before on some other paintings. I kind of like it actually. I'm just going to keep doing it. Alright guys, I am done. And we'll get back to painting the angel. That was a really loud sip. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, y'all. I wonder if this ring light is making it too bright. So I discovered that my cell phone actually has a way better camera than my laptop, even though this laptop was super expensive. Can you see? Can't you see? I'm trying to keep it still. So my laptop is freezing up, but that could just be my internet connection with me trying to watch it. Are y'all seeing good, clear pictures? I have 17 people on here and I have one comment. Are y'all sleeping? Can you see it? Can you see the crackles? Can somebody answer me? I feel like I'm here all by myself and nobody cares. I'll show my camera though, because I'm recording this on my regular camera. I'm uploading this to YouTube. This whole lesson will be available on YouTube without internet issues. So I'm kind of zooming in for that. Anywho, it's done. She's done. So all I have to do now is, can I get my sleeve in there? I guess not. All I have to do now is put the matte varnish on, and I'm not going to show you that. I said I was going to, but it's so easy. You saw how I put the gloss varnish on. It's the same thing. You just lay it flat on a table and pour it on and just put it on. It's Liquitex matte varnish. So I'm not going to show you just because I want to get back to painting that, not angel, that evil. So I'm gonna